Attorney Brent Burks from the McMahon Law Firm is joining us today to talk about some dirty tactics that some insurance companies take or do. Thanks for joining us, as always.
Thank you, Brian.
As I mentioned, some dirty tactics that are out there, and what are some of those things? Because you have to think that maybe in some cases insurance companies can't take advantage of a case or advantage of a person. What are some of those things? Well,
let's start early on in the case, Brian. One of the first things that will happen is you'll get a phone call from an insurance adjuster, and they're going to be your friend, okay? They're going to tell you they're going to take care of you, and that they're going to do the right thing, and things are going to be okay. Don't believe that. They're looking out for their interests. And then secondly, they're going to pretty early on in a lot of cases ask for a recorded statement. You should ask yourself, why are they wanting a recorded statement? Now, under your own UM or underinsured motorist policy, there is a contractual requirement for you to give a recorded statement, but your lawyer can be present. If it's the adversarial company, there's no requirement at all for you to give one in that situation. Let's talk about property damage. That comes up early and often. Have insurance companies, are they ever fair with what the value of the car is? Right. That sends a lot of people to us, and I'd like to educate the public. You can give your own estimate of the car value. You can go get your own estimate from an expert, a car dealer, a mechanic, somebody like that. Those are important things to remember.
Now, right off the bat, you explained a couple of these things. It sounds pretty complicated, but there are others that want to go ahead and take this on themselves and say, I got this. Maybe not necessarily the best advice.
No, not at all. I tell people, don't expect a fair offer from the insurance company if you're trying to represent yourself. When people come to us, many times I see offers that are at the medical expenses or less. And I like to educate the public. Once again, remember there are other levels of damages there for pain and suffering, loss of enjoyment of life, permanent injury, lost wages. Those things need to be factored in also. But a lot of times people come with me and they've been representing themselves, and I see those kind of offers, and I know immediately I can help them.
Now, some insurance companies will say, okay, now he's hired a lawyer, it's time to go ahead and fold and settle, but that's not the case always.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of insurance stall tactics that take place, even when we get involved. And, I can get as frustrated as some people out there representing themselves, but at least I know what to do about it. Try getting an insurance adjuster on the phone nowadays. They're handling hundreds of files. They don't return calls. They make bogus defenses about comparative fault when somebody's rear-ended and saying, well, they stopped suddenly, phantom defenses. We see it all, Brian.
Yeah. And is there a way to fix some of those delay tactics?
Well, there's no real magic bullet, but one thing that helps, obviously, is filing suit. The ultimate thing is eventually to maybe get a case ready for trial, the threat of a trial. It's not a magic bullet, but one big change occurs once you file suit. You're no longer dealing with the same adjuster. Generally, you're dealing with an attorney. The attorney traditionally, historically, has been accountable to their client, which would be the driver of that other car. Unfortunately, Brian, we've got a movement in this state and a lot of states, and I don't know how it got passed, but insurance companies now are hiring their, quote, in-house lawyers. Liberty Mutual, Allstate, Geico, some big companies. Ask yourself, if you've got those companies, do you want that arrangement? They have lawyers on their payroll that are now representing these people, and I think there's some divided loyalties there sometimes. But that's what's happening. But still, the threat of getting it ready for court is the only thing that we can do to help that situation.
As you mentioned, there is no magic bullet out there to make sure the insurance companies do what is fair for some of those insurance companies that are out there. But that's, of course, why we have a chance to hire you guys and the experts as well, because you guys are there for us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I tell people. Look, we can get frustrated too, but we know what to do to get the cases ready for court. We can get the right doctors involved, get the right insurance people, investigative people involved to look at things, hire the right experts at whatever they are, maybe engineers, but get the case ready for trial. That's the best, quote, remedy that's out there against some of these unfair tactics that we've talked about. And then the studies still show, after the lawyers are paid, that people recover generally 1/3 more than if they try to handle it on their own.
Hey, we appreciate that you guys are on our side. So, all right, folks, here's the information. If you're interested, if you got some questions out there as well, that's what they're here for. They're here to help. It is McMahon Law Firm, located in downtown Chattanooga. The phone number, write it down, 423-265-1100. Again, 265-1100. You can also go to their website, which is McMahonLawFirm.com. Again, McMahonLawFirm.com. And of course, we'll always have that information on our website, which is NewsChannel9.com, under this and that. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you, Brian.